Fear State is done. James Tynion is out of the Bat books. We are in a new age of Batman. Thankfully. Hopefully this lasts a decent amount of time because I'm enjoying what's going on right now. So if you don't know, Joshua Williamson just took over for Batman on Batman issue 118, and Batman issue 119 just came out. So we're 2 issues into Joshua Williamson's new run on Batman, and so far it's really solid. I'm enjoying it a lot. Also, Jorge Molina is doing a fantastic job on the pencils. His art looks so nice. It looks really good. It looks kind of Clayman-esque if I could compare it to anyone. And yeah, I'm really enjoying what he's doing so far. So if you're not aware, James Tynion has been writing Batman for a fat minute now after Tom King got off, and not the biggest fan of his Batman run. It started out all right, and then he just dragged out Joker War way too long, and the ending was not satisfying at all. And then we got Fear State, which was horrible, and it tied into a lot of other crap, and it just was not good. And it wasted another one of my favorite Jorge's, who was doing great on art, Jorge Jimenez. He killed it on the art in that book, but the story was not so great. But here, thankfully, it's good so far. So, before I get into it, I just want to say, spoiler warning, if you have not read these 2 issues, I will be getting into spoilers. And also, if you do enjoy these videos, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe. I gotta say all that stuff. Anyways, it really does help the channel, so I'd appreciate it if any of you guys could do that. Anyways, yeah, let's get into it. So, issue 118, we get some cool Batman action, but the main thing of this is that a new villain called Abyss was murdered overseas. It was murdered in one of those made-up DC countries. I can't pronounce the name of it, but it's some made-up DC country, like this big ol' island. So, there's who murdered him? Batman Incorporated. Remember Batman Incorporated, that thing that Grant Morrison came up with and had some cool stuff done pre-New 52? Like, that was pretty cool. And now Batman Incorporated's back, and they murdered a guy. Not just any guy, but this guy named Abyss, who for like a year had been terrorizing the people of this island. He had been like killing people, I think, and kidnapping people. He had been doing a lot of bad things. And so out of nowhere, Batman Incorporated just murders him, several members of Batman Incorporated, and Bruce goes over to the island to try to figure out why. He's like, why the hell did these guys that I knew as good people just murder this dude? What is going on? Like, yeah, this was a bad guy, but I did not, I didn't give them the go-ahead to go around killing people. So he's trying to figure that out, and he does believe that they actually murdered him, but they're wondering why did they turn into murderers? He's like, from the crime scene I can tell it looks like they killed him, but why would they do this? And then at the end of issue 118, we see that Batman's talking to a detective that's been working this case, and she's like, yeah, Batman Inc.'s been trying to fight him, and then they killed him. I wonder what's going on. They have that guy funding them, and Batman's like, oh yeah, Bruce Wayne was funding them. And she's like, no, some different guy. And then out of the shadows pops the guy that's been funding him, and it's Lex Luthor. Because if you're not caught up on Batman, during James Tynion's run, Batman lost a lot of his wealth because of something that the Joker did at the end of Joker War. So Batman went from basically being like a billionaire to being just a millionaire. So he doesn't have as much money, so he can't fund everything. So Lex Luthor scooped in and is now funding Batman Incorporated, and he's also made a lot of donations to this island as well, so they see him pretty favorably over there. Then in issue 119, Bruce and Lex have dinner together, and Lex essentially tells him, hey, I've been through a lot of things recently. If you read Scott Snyder's Justice League, you realize that Lex has been through a lot of things, like becoming part Martian and helping like the creator of the DC universe try to wipe out the DC universe. A lot of stupid crap happened. Lex is a changed person now. Still not a great guy, but he's different than he used to be. He says, I've learned that the world needs a Batman and a Superman. And he talks about how he wants to fund Batman because he's like, yeah, Bruce, you're really held back now because you don't have your billions. I could help you with those shortcomings because I still have my billions. But Batman's kind of like, nah. And Lex tells him that, he's like, hey, just think it over. And I have Abyss's dead body, by the way, so we can go examine that corpse together and figure out who killed him. Figure out if it was Batman Incorporated or what's going on. Bruce just pieces out and then goes and investigates the body on his own because he knows where it's at now since Lex just told him. And while investigating it, he sees that the body has decomposed rapidly, and also there's a 9mm bullet in its head. And he's like, wait, no one on Batman Inc. uses that caliber. No one uses a gun that shoots 9mm. Why is there? What's going on here? And then Abyss appears out of nowhere. And we figure out why Abyss's name is Abyss, because when he appears, everything's just darkness and shadows, essentially, in Abyss. So Batman has a cool fight with Abyss, and I gotta say, this looks sick. Like, the presentation of this, the pencils, the colors, the inking, everything looks awesome here. I love the way this fight looks when Batman fights Abyss. It just looks sick. Abyss tells Batman that he or she or they, whatever this thing is, it might just be some random ass creature, is a creature of the darkness, born in the shadows just like Batman, and the voices in the dark are its only master. And it beats the crap out of Batman, and it tells him to get out of here, go back to Gotham, otherwise he risks getting lost in the Abyss. And then it just disappears. And Batman's like, looks like he has fatal wounds, and the detective that Batman talked to earlier is there, and she's like, Batman, come here, come, it's okay, Abyss is gone, we need to help you. And Batman's like, I can't see anything, it's too dark, and we see that his eyes are all black, so he's still in the Abyss. So Abyss did something to him, we don't know what, but this whole fight was sick. Abyss looked super cool. I love the way the fight took place. Everything was awesome about it. Abyss's weaponry was cool. The design for the character is sick. I'm hoping that the character is cool throughout the rest of the series because this fight was awesome and I like it, and I don't understand anything about the character, which is cool because it has mystery right now. So to sum things up, Abyss used Batman Incorporated to fake its own death, but we don't know why it wanted to fake its own death. Batman gets the crap kicked out of him and then is actually left in, like, the Abyss because his eyes are all black and he can't see anything, so he's got to figure out a way out of there. Lex is funding Batman Incorporated and wants to fund Batman as well, so there's a lot of things going on now. There's a lot of moving parts. It's really interesting. I'm intrigued. I'm drawn in. This is probably the best Bat book out right now because, oh man, actually, this or Robin. Robin's another book written by Joshua Williamson. So Joshua Williamson's writing the two best Bat books out right now. Because Nightwing is very hit or miss. Some issues are great, some issues suck. But 2 issues in, and the new Batman series is kick-ass. I really like it. I'd highly recommend you picking it up if you have not. If you're like me, I dropped Batman after Joker War because I was not a fan of what Tynion was doing. I thought things were getting too... I was not a fan of it. I did not like how he was bringing Harley in. Things were getting away from Batman because at the start, he was like, oh, it's going to be focusing on Batman, and I'm not going to do like I did it with Detective Comics where I made a very family-oriented book. This is going to be about Batman. And then he slowly, well, not very slowly, he quickly just made about everyone but Batman, and Batman was sharing way too much page time with everyone else. This book so far is all about Batman, and I'm digging it, and I like the Lex angle, and I think it's really cool whenever Batman and Lex interact, because they're like kind of two sides of the same coin. So whenever they butt heads, I find it extremely interesting, and I think Joshua Williamson will do something really cool here. So yeah, that's what I think of Batman right now. Again, if you have not checked it out, I would say it's worth it. If you've been thinking about it, go buy the books and read them for yourself. But if you have read it, I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. What do you think of the first 2 issues we have of of Joshua Williamson's run post-Tynion? So issue 118, 119 of Batman. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later.
Hey, skinny boy, saucy boy, I be running to the bank. Yeah, you know I hit the gas in the whip full tank. Riding past the ocean while I'm listening to Frank.